Oh goodness. Shabbat shalom, my fellow YouTube dregs. Just give me a moment. This is how I prepare at the last second. So I decided to get back to getting back. And due to the topic at hand, definitely want to show you guys something I've started doing just for the sake of natural health. Because after you do enough research, what's up, big cat? Yo, bro. Next time I catch you at the spot, man, remember, I got you. Remember. Okay, so this is, I know, impromptu. I never do scheduling. Apologies, I hyped everybody up. Cindy, my son's laugh mattered. You're the first one on the list of the phone calls, okay? I've made my rounds. Got a lot of awesome phone calls, by the way. Where was I? Okay, so I've started taking natural, like, super healthy vitamins because, look, let's face it. I don't think we need to reflect too much on the past few years alone about how the CDC or the NIH has gone about anything, right? We know it's pretty well and good that they are in the business, including our own doctors, at least the majority of them, and the big pharma, the same old names, the same old tactics, and all that. It is within their interest to fill and line their pockets by keeping us as not healthy as possible. Because you can't make money off of a healthy individual, am I right? No, they're in the sickness industry, folks. So they can keep on developing nonsensical cures and or, dare I say, vaccines? I say it with a twang, so maybe YouTube won't catch up to it. Here's some probably not healthy juice. There's, I'm sure, an ingredient in here to some degree that can harm me. You'll see where this is going. Here's the super multivitamin. At least that's what I'm telling you, huh? Huh? Okay. So this is a suppository. Century, oh God, Century Senior, when you need to be reminded that you're an old man. So I listen to Russle Brand a lot because he's a truth teller, right? I don't know how I can brand myself. Hey, you hear the pun? But I'd like to think that I'm somewhat in the business here of getting down to the truth when the mainstream outlet here, oh, I didn't do the thing right, did I? Is to always keep us misinformed, falsely content, and purchasing as much crap as possible, especially especially when they convince us it's for the greater good, when it's no longer about yourself and all the scientific data that they rely upon so much to make you spend your money, when it's not about necessarily your own health, and the data can't quite support and supply you with enough incentive to give over your monies and get all the medicines and fake cures. They have to now switch up the narrative. Remember, it was a 0.9 transference ratio. They had to go, no, you're doing this to save other lives, you fool. So check out Russell Brand and another, I guess, a whistleblower. They're literally poisoning us. I know it's not shocking, but listen to some of the facts here. Let me know if the audio is okay.
One thing that we all require is sweet lady food. Without nutrition, Gareth, without healthy diets, without good information about the food we eat, we are lost. Callie Means is an activist who used to work in the food and farming industry before leaving to become a whistleblower on companies like Coca-Cola, where he actually was involved in lobbying. For example, did you know that once they flagged it so that Coca-Cola got recommended to children, like kids could...
Let me know that the volume is okay, because the information is super important, and I really got to get to the bottom of whatever the issues are here. So, all right, and I should have put in the description, not CDC, even though they're liars, FDA. Ugh, crap.
Drink Coca-Cola, it's good for you. He now highlights the ways in which Big Food and Big Pharma rig the system to maintain profits and keep us unhealthy.
Hello, Jules and Jackie.
Is their profit. Callie, thanks for joining us, mate.
No, great to be here, Russell.
Now,
this guy's a champ.
A crisis where there's been some controversy around injecting children, perhaps needlessly. What is this new obesity drug, Ozempic, and what's the story behind it, and why is it dangerous, Callie?
Thanks, Jackie.
Well, this is a scandal that I think is the biggest story in the country right now. The American Academy of Pediatrics,
Now,
which is what
pause. All right. This man with the experience, with the knowledge, with the facts, is saying this should be the biggest news story in the country. Meanwhile, like, if I were to ask you, what's the first thing that comes to mind if I were to say, what's important in our country and to our own well being? You would think maybe, oh, I don't know, I heard Chris Rock finally addressed the Will Smith slap, which he did, and that was badass, by the way. Will Smith is a bitch. But no, seriously, our priorities are all messed up. Maybe, hopefully, I know there's a lot of us looking at where the real problems lay or lie and who's behind them. I saw something about Bill Gates today. He is the most disgusting, oddest philanthropist, quote unquote, I've ever come across. And Russell Brand eloquently covers that in the video that I shared on the community. Go ahead and get yourself educated. That man is up to something skeezy, boy. All right, so let's check out the man of the hour.
sets the guidelines for pediatrics in this country is actually a
What up,
wholly owned
Red?
subsidiary of pharma. More than the majority of their funding comes from pharma. But
Red Reaper, I'd like to add Russell Brand is somebody similar to how I evolved from, being nothing but a staunch progressive and always sticking to the set. Like, I used to love the squad, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Nina Turner, blah, blah, blah. And now I despise them. I'm even starting to, thanks to CanCon sending me a new link. This one's going to hurt me a little bit, and I was saving this. Bernie Sanders' current actions are a direct result of hypocrisy, and I have to call him out. We all have to be able to call out our so-called heroes or people we look up to. We have to celebrate our independent thought. Our means to do so is the only thing that could ever hope to save our lives and our country. So Russell Brand, I don't know where he stands. He is not a full-blown communist, but don't quote me. But he's evolved. He has been labeled alt-right, far-right, just like Rogan. So we're all more similar than we are different. The mainstream wants us to believe the opposite.
set the agenda. And just last week, they recommended that every
Smoke and mirrors,
obese
Jules.
and overweight person in this country over 12 gets an obesity drug, and this is a lifetime.
Wait, we missed
injection.
something.
It
I
says
missed
that
something.
Their funding comes from pharma, but they set the agenda. And just last week, they recommended that every obese and overweight person in this country over 12 gets an obesity drug, and this is a lifetime injection. It's
A lifetime. Think of how many people that is. How many people, patient zeros that is, for them to profiteer off of, and under the name of the greater good and or health. It's always in disguise of doing something good when they're doing something nefarious. Pure profiteering. I don't. Lifetime injection. Get the hell out of here. Is that what the big lockdown was about, to make us more complacent with just saying, yes, go ahead, prick me with that damn thing. I don't care. Take my monies and my
It
freedom.
says on the label for this drug that there are
Hey, Don.
serious and unknown metabolic effects if you go off this drug. So we have seen teenagers, particularly during COVID, now 45% obese or overweight. It's obviously because of a rigged food system. Early in my career,
Rigged.
I actually helped rig the system. They paid the American Academy of Pediatrics.
This guy, okay, we got to listen carefully. I know I'm interrupting. This is how fair use works, but he helped Coca-Cola rig the system. The FDA, they also notoriously go hand in hand with allowing things that are not healthy. There's a certain percentage of excrement that is human fecal matter that is allowed to be in our food before it's left to be put out for distribution. Okay? Look into this stuff.
Pediatrics directly. They pay the American Diabetes Association. Those associations, the medical establishment, has been silent that the fact that the
Just like our government and our media working hand in hand.
cells and the metabolism of our children has been decimated by our food companies. But now that 45% of children are overweight or obese, we are getting a full court press to have this obesity drug injected into a large percentage of American teens, making them lifetime patients. What's so dangerous about this, Russell, and honestly heartbreaking, having a new son, is that obesity isn't the problem. The problem is that children systematically, through a rigged system, are putting, poisonous, processed food into their system. And
voluntarily.
even if this obesity drug worked perfectly, which it doesn't, it has massive
Voluntarily, through accessibility, it's always more expensive to eat healthier. It's all by design. All by design.
side effects. If you're eating 25% less poison, you're still eating poison, you're still feeding your cells bad things, you're still going to have a lot of diseases and not an optimal life. So once again, it's a distraction. It's a pharma distraction making lifetime patients. And I think the most important thing here, or one of them, is that this is projected to be the most expensive drug in American history. We're on track to spend trillions on this drug. It would be much cheaper to just have healthy food for kids.
It's extraordinary. Through lobbying and through expenditure on dubious trialing methods, through controlling the stories around food, through controlling the stories of nutrition, it seems that an industry is devoted to creating new clients, new patients, new consumers for their products. Is it fair to say that the undue influence that big food is able to exert on organisations that research subjects like diabetes,
big food, big pharma,
disease, oncology and cancer,
big media,
we're simply not getting the real picture of how we ought to eat and what's healthy? And imagine if overnight processed foods were banned, annihilated, and people just ate healthy. What would the difference be to diseases like heart disease, diabetes, cancer?
Yeah, so working for Coke 10 years ago,
our population would boom.
We had a strategy. Now, processed food companies contribute 11 times more money to nutritional research in the United States than the NIH.
Oh, Jules, I wish it were that practical and logical.
Our strategy was to fund thousands and thousands of studies to complicate the issue. Still, to this day, elite research institutions are putting out studies questioning whether sugar causes obesity.
Are you kidding me?
It's mass confusion. And then, as you mentioned, the medical system...
See how they manipulate what should be simple truth into a huge, complex question. Of course sugar would help make somebody diabetic or obese, but no, they add so many like for-profit scientists, that are beholden to the people with the money that need to sell the product, and they add them into the mix, and they make the confusion. What should be an obvious answer about common sense becomes a more nuanced, more gray area problem so that they can keep funding the research. Yeah, that's where the money's going, by the way, always, to the research.
Is totally silent on that.
Oh, I got you, bro.
Is not ringing an alarm bell about childhood diabetes, obesity. They're profiting from it. And I think the key thing to understand is that we've siloed health in every institution, from pharma to med schools to your hospital.
Thanks, Nanya.
We make money on interventions of people that are sick.
Appreciate you.
As you said, we've siloed diseases into these things, right? We spend $250 billion on cancer. We spend over $1 trillion on diabetes care. The most prescribed drug in the country, 25% of the United States is on a mental health medication, right? We have...
Yep, right here. Yeah, if you saw one of my last lives, Dream or Nightmare, my subconscious has turned on me. I mean, it's the weirdest thing, and I'm not a victim. I'm another human being, an American that happens to be on a medication. How much of it is a placebo? How much of it is psychosomatic? I take such a small piece of anything, and I'm like, okay, my brain says you're okay now, And I got to start, I've been talking about it too long. I need to try to fool myself. And I don't know, that one, it just hits close to home, so I had to say something about my own experience.
40% of men over 40 in the U.S. are on a statin, right, to prevent heart disease. The problem is, Russell, all of the conditions I just mentioned are going up. As we're treating them, as we're spending trillions of dollars to treat these conditions in silos, they're all getting worse. Rates of everything is going up. It's because the foundational reason for all of the diseases you mentioned, Russell, it's very simple, and we're being gaslighted. It's because of food, right? If you are metabolically healthy, if you're eating healthy food, if you're at a normal weight, you're very unlikely to die from COVID. You have almost 0% chance of getting
C word.
heart disease.
Oh, and I wanted to mention this. Now, I'm no hero, obviously, but on my breaks every day, right, I have to make a decision. What am I going to eat? Sometimes sushi or like a sub, but I can't help. There's a McDonald's nearby. With the way I think about the McDonald's cheeseburgers, it's like thinking about a drug. Very similar to when I was on opiates 12 years ago. That kind of hankering and thinking about it, like the taste, the texture, it's crazy. We know how unnatural and how many preservatives are in McDonald's food. But I freaking crave it, man. It's insane to where I'm almost obsessing about it. And there is, I wonder if I can pull this up real quick. Sorry, guys. Let me do this as brief as possible. There is a child that did a study on. She purchased a small McDonald's meal. McDonald's experiment. That's spelled wrong. This is gonna trip you out if you don't know about it. I'm gonna spell everything wrong because damn the man. Experiment burger. How many years ago was it? Let's see what comes up. I recognize the picture immediately. 20-year-old McDonald's hamburger. This is from 2020. Here it is. Here's the picture. Okay. So I forget. A little girl for a science experiment decided to age this right here. Believe it or not, no thanks. That burger is 20 years old. Look at the paper next to it. And this was purchased in 1999. This is what it looks like in 2020. Looks like the day it was bought. It looks like a burger. If I were to go buy one right now, scrape the ketchup off. This is what we're putting into. Yo, bro, thank you, Big Cat Man. Just got it. Killing me, fam, but I appreciate you. The support means a lot. Much love to y'all. It's always weird to say thanks. So no cap. Oh God, I just said can we edit that? No, this is live. You bussin', bro. No. So no nonsense, no bullshit. That right there. Okay, imagine what happens if that goes into our bodies and it can't even decompose accurately. Oh look, while we're talking about health, this is what people are putting into their bodies. Is that a bunch of ice cream and cheese? I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, the page stopped responding. Fantastic. That's okay. We're going to close it out. The purpose has been served here. So let's get back to how we're being poisoned for profit and why it's the professionals, the ones that are supposed to be making us well, they're too busy listening to their lobbyists, to the powers that be. They don't care about we the people. That's why if we ever care about the term for the people, we the people better stand the fuck up and do something about it mighty quick. Because we're all being mass manipulated and controlled every damn day of our lives with very little effort on their part.
Alzheimer's, which is now called type 3 diabetes, and is highly
what?
tied to metabolism. So we are ignoring the actually simple root cause, and this is by design, right? People getting
By
sicker
design,
and sicker,
baby.
and us kind of confused about why that is, helps the medical industry profit. And I'll just close, with this story. I was actually debating a leading Harvard doctor this week who is a big proponent for Ozempic. There's this big push. She's saying that obesity is actually a genetic disease, not tied, quote, to food or lifestyle. They're literally arguing that at Harvard. And when pushed, she said she does not know why there's a crisis of childhood obesity.
Are you shitting me?
Complicated. This is not complicated.
A Harvard what? A Harvard anything can't give us a straight answer as to why childhood obesity is at an all-time high in the United States of America. This is where we need to be recognizing this as a internal, not existential, internal threat as a patriotic country. Okay, China is not having this problem. Okay, Russia is not having this problem. Any of the countries who are taught to be a threat to us, which I believe is China above all, economically speaking, when it comes to, I know we're all leaning on technological advances to fight our wars and all that, but when it comes to it, body to body, we're screwed, I hate to say. Statistically.
The rigged food system and the medical system is profiting.
That is disgusting that the Food and Drug Administration Agency, the FDA, they regulate both Big Pharma and they regulate Big Food, and they take 45% of their funding from the pharmaceutical industry, and we can
45% from the pharmaceutical industry. How do we change this? That's my one practical question. I'm not asking as a leader of a damn thing. It takes one citizen, and then it goes from there. It has to grow, because I know I'm not the only one asking. Simply, I don't expect anybody in here to have an answer except tear it all down and rebuild it. How do we change this shit? It can't be through legislation and bills anymore, because we know that's all bought, paid for, sponsored by Pfizer. How do we fix these things in our country? I'm getting tired of asking and throwing myself to my knees and begging to the skies like a I don't know, an imbecile with a false sense of optimism. How do we change this shit? We can't, because greed controls our so-called leaders.
See now how what you correctly adjudicate to be a process of delicious poisoning through sugary, fatty, salty, processed foods is a win-win for them. I get the sort of symbol, the metaphor, talking to Callie, that the agricultural models that meant that we were able to detach ourselves from nature, plus industrialization.
Here, let's do a real-time experiment, right? So I just drank this because I'm trying to drink less soda. I'm trying to take more senior vitamins because I want to be a healthier man when I die at 60. So this is, if you look here, it's just 5% juice. Oh, okay, it's only 5% juice. Word. Okay, let me deal with that fact. Ingredients: water, high fructose corn syrup. It's the nectar of the anti-gods. This is the most unhealthy sweetener ever, and it's in everything. Because we could just start mainlining it. Sweet potato juice concentrate, carrot juice. There's my concentrate. I was gonna say there's my 5%. Natural flavoring. That's the whole ingredient, is natural flavoring. Hold on here. Okay. All right. My eyesight getting that, but citric acid, malic acid, vitamin C with ascorbic acid in parentheses. I don't even know what that word is. Of course. Sucralose. I don't know. Red 40. Wait, I've heard of this before. Red 40. Let's do some more real-time research, shall we? Let's get... No, wrong spot. My VPN, I have an issue with my VPN, so I have to go through third party to access Google. What is Red 40 ingredient? Okay, let's see. Yeah, right there. Consists of a chemical compound called Allura Red AC. This is a... I can't read these. Naphthalene sulfonic acid. Allura Red AC typically comes in the form of a dark red powder or small granules. You can dissolve it in water, 50% alcohol solutions, glycerol or polyethylene. Okay, what is this? Hold on. What is the thing I can't read? Something SUC. Let's see what I'm putting into my body since I'm trying to be healthier. Man. SUCRAL RALOSE. All right, so this is something let's see, is a no-calorie sweetener. Hey, that can be used to lower one's intake of added sugars while still providing satisfaction from enjoying the taste of something sweet. It sounds like they're trying to hide something in that. Let me see. The majority of ingested we're just going to call it suck, is not broken down by the body. Oh, I don't know if that's a good thing. It's also known under the okay. Facts. Does it cause weight gain? This is the stuff that they're marketing as healthy, man. And people who consume beverages sweetened with sugar or soda with blah blah blah, sweetened low significantly increased body weight. So all the things that are marketed as like sweet and low and supposed to be instead of the sugar, man, we're getting screwed at every angle here. All right, let me get back to the video, but I'm still I'm absolutely intrigued. Licorice root extract for flavor. Pyridoxine. It shouldn't be that complicated for a bottle of juice, man. This shouldn't be this freaking crazy. I shouldn't need to have a degree in Harvard science to understand the ingredients in this damn thing. Vitamin B12 in parentheses. Why is it in parentheses next to this crazy word I can't read. Peroxide hydrochloride, vitamin B6, and then cyansobalamin. All right, what the hell is this? Let me check the last one. See what they're killing me with now. CYAN. Wow, am I really seeing better without my glasses now? CYAN. Maybe it's the juice. This is what it's trying to do. Holy crap! Did Google just guess it? Google just you know what? Example of Google getting smart. It sees I'm looking up ingredients and look at the first thing that popped up. Thank you, Google. Okay, cyanocobalamin, a vitamin found in foods of animal origin such as liver, fish, and eggs, a deficiency of which can cause pernicious anemia. Vitamin B, it contains a cyanide group bonded to the central cobalt atom of a... Am I reading the right thing here? Is a form of vitamin B used to treat deficiency, expert in the presence of cyanide toxin. Bro, I don't know what I'm even doing right now, except slowly killing myself with that sweet V8. Oh my god, there's a little bit left. I quit V8 officially. There's a bunch in the fridge. You guys want some? Send me your P.O. box. Jesus. What are you talking about? Cyanide group. I need to understand. Why is cyanide even listed in my B12 extract? Okay, something about a tapeworm up here. Cyanocobalamin is a form of used to treat vitamin B deficiency except in the presence of except in the presence of cyanide toxicity. You gotta read every word and slowly take it easy. I get very, very theatrical, right? The deficiency may occur in pernicious anemia following surgical removal of the stomach with fish tapeworm or due to bowel cancer. Okay, I am just absolutely confused. So back to how we're being slowly unalived.
That was bad enough when it were carbohydrate-based diets, peasants in...
This is whistleblower and activist. He worked for Coca-Cola, has admitted how the company, Coca-Cola, just paid off everybody that's supposed to be absolutely interested in our own health. Because, it's the right thing to do and it's their job. Right, FDA? What's the percentage of human excrement allowed in your food again? I forget. It's 0.6%. I don't know, something about around the same rate as it was the likelihood to get the COVID. So
country eating potatoes or pasta or rice or bread, whatever's the appropriate food for peasants in that time. But now the appropriate food is poison. I see us as if we were latched with tubes, siphoning off our energy, pumping poisons into us. But we're like blobs of commodity now. And that when you say that our finest...
Sorry. All right. If you guys have seen the movie WALL-E, I think it's Pixar, not Disney, Pixar. That was one of the most accurate, foretelling, prophetic, scary images of what the human population will look like one day. Remember, they didn't even know how to walk anymore. They had these built-in chairs. They just had to hit buttons. It reminded me of how after the lockdowns, we're willing to pay $50 for fast food just because we're lazy now, or we're just more accustomed to it. So, in effect, as a result, the government, in one fell swoop, made us not only more complacent and lazy, but more eager to part with our money. And the little menial jobs that, yes, you can work and make your own schedule, essentially, the DoorDash, Uber Eats, and all those folks, they're making frickin' peanuts. I had a customer yesterday. I asked her, hey, what do you do? How well do you do this with, blah, blah, blah. And I asked her. She said she makes about $60 in 3 hours, 4 hours, and then she's done for the day just for spending cash. So, yeah. So now I'm placing the onus here on big government here during the lockdowns. As a result, we have cheap labor. We have now a populace that's more willing to spend more for less. Mission accomplished.
educational and academic institutions have been co-opted.
Drop those links, bro. Absolutely.
It is normal for a top Harvard professional to be so apparently credulous about how childhood obesity could increase when sugar and fat are increasing in diets, and when there is so much money spent on lobbying by the food industry. So, mate, what was your personal epiphany? When did you realise that you were working in a deeply corrupted industry, and what can we do now, systemically and individually?
So my sister was the pride of the family. We both went to Stanford. She was much smarter than me. She was president of her undergrad class, was top of her class at Stanford Med School, and then was an elite surgeon. And she...
I don't call the viewership or the chat like fam or anything like that, but I do support everybody here, and my gratitude is eternal. If you have a channel and you're trying to get some exposure, I'll feature it in a community post. I truly do believe in building one another up. Some events that are now in the past have made me a bit more cautious. But while you're here, while you're modded, you have my trust. Please drop a link, and then I'll visit your channel, and we'll go from there.
After training for 13 years, had an out-of-body experience where she was doing her third surgery of the day, looking down at a patient, and they had inflammation. She was doing a sinusitis, cutting out their sinus. And she did not know why that person had inflammation. She was only trained in medical school how to cut that out, how to prescribe a drug.
It's okay, Warrior Mom. No apologies necessary, okay?
And what she realized is that Stanford Med School, Harvard Med School, all the elite med schools in the United States, 80% in total, do not teach one nutrition class to doctors. And when you trace the money, more than 50% of medical school funding touches pharma. Doctors spend almost every...
Hold on, that's important. Go back.
And what she realized is that Stanford Med School, Harvard Med School, all the elite med schools in the United States, 80% in total, do not teach one nutrition class to doctors. And then when you trace the money, more than 50% of medical school funding touches pharma.
More than 50% of medical school touches pharma. 50%. Half of everything goes to big pharma because they need it so bad. It's not like, I don't know, the American population, we the people, need any... I mean, I don't want more stimulus checks, man. I just want funding to the places that could have some impact in a positive way for us to live healthy.
Doctors spend almost every moment in medical school learning pharmacology. They actually do not have any awe, as you talk about, Russell, or understanding or curiosity about the interconnectivity of our body.
Because they know where the money's at. Look at that. They freeze the part of the brain that needs or wants to learn more to do their job more efficiently, to take better care of we the people.
And the miraculousness of life. They stand, our medical system...
Unless they cut you open and you bleed dollars, they don't care.
...incentivized to stand and wait for people to get sick.
Indeed.
She quit. And has been on a warpath. Her name's Dr. Casey Means, and is
Dr. Casey Means.
And then that ties recently to our beloved, our best friend, our mom, dying of pancreatic cancer. She got that diagnosis in 2021, died 13 days later, was perfectly healthy. And tying that back, pancreatic cancer is highly tied to metabolic dysfunction to food. Cancers, dementia, kidney disease, COVID deaths, all these things, when you trace it, are actually tied to food. So, Russell, it's really convinced me some of these
interesting
experiences.
Oh yeah, remember, look, I'm no doctor. Remember that, YouTube. So take everything with a grain of salt. But wasn't the media making a huge big deal about, or were they? I don't remember, about your general health as a human being, as an individual, having any impact at all to how the virus were to impact you. I said impact twice, but in all sincerity, no, they weren't. The media completely ignored you having... Joe Rogan talked about it, and they put him through the yellow filter to make him look sickly, and he never got the vaccine. He took ivermectin. They said he was taking horse medicine, and that, he was essentially doing something very irresponsible. He got better in 3 days, and all he did was, after that, ask, why did we shut down our entire country? And then CNN was all over that ass.
You really take it to a spiritual level.
What's up, Jeremy?
We are decimating our human capital.
Always good to see you, brother.
85% of kids now have prediabetes. Diabetes is cellular dysregulation in their brains, throughout their precious bodies. this is the first order issue, and I think we're really being just distracted from it, and we need to get back to just awe and curiosity about the interconnectivity of what's happening in our body. I think it's the most important issue we face in the world.
Yes, I think you're
Think
right.
about that. Instead of being reactionary to everything, and then I don't know. I mean, I'm no perfect human being, guilty where I'm guilty. But imagine if all of us with our channels were to focus on that awe and curiosity on the topics that we know are the largest problems as and for our country, instead of the drama clickbait that usually overtakes an entire channel or community. The good we could do as private citizens alone. Maybe we could give the finger to the government then.
Right. I think that what we
I got a
what
treat
our
after this,
systems
by the
that
way. Something
revere
special.
our nature and support our nature rather than enhance the evident
Big dog Jeremy.
corruption and mapped on systems that are built for profit. It's interesting what you say about awe and that lack of curiosity. Of course, it seems that when you have a poisoned,
Sorry.
oiled
That awe and a sense of curiosity is exactly what the mainstream media tries to destroy, because they tell you, do exactly as we say, how we say it. We say vaccine, you take, no question, no awe, no curiosity. Don't ask why. Don't be a skeptic. Just nod your head. Please, sir, can I have another?
the distracted population. You can profit from their illness. You can profit from every aspect of their life. You profit from fattening them up. You profit from healing them. And obviously, a drug where pharmacological pharmaceutical companies can go to their shareholders and say this is a drug they have to take for the rest of their lives. That's incredible. Also, it's a problem of inequality, of course, isn't it? Because now people that are affluent, and I'd have to say I include myself in this, you replicate the kind of diet that you would have if you were living naturally. Like, I recognise that I should be eating organic food. I should probably eat food that's available in the place that I'm out at, in the season that I'm in. The ordinary conditions of our evolution are now a privilege because we are tied to economic systems and institutions of profit that will not afford us access to nature, even when it comes to sustenance, let alone nutrition.
I'd love to talk to Russell Brand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a free market guy, but I think the free market's been totally rigged. And I think it's incumbent. And
Like
I think
everything?
I'm optimistic because we're calling this out. I do think people are waking up. I want to put one point.
Beautiful statement. This will continue. How tired are you? Are you tired with me yet on this one? I think we're waking up. I think we're waking up. I think we're waking up. I don't want to be hearing that until we finally take the eternal rest. I don't. I don't want to have that moment, on my final resting days. We had our chance to wake up. We had our chance to turn it around, to strip it down and rebuild. We had our chance. I think we're waking up. When's it gonna happen? It's starting to remind me of the prophecies of the end times. Oh, the world's gonna end tomorrow. Maybe it's already freaking over. We just haven't realized it.
On this class issue, because I think that debate's really weaponized.
They had a
I talked
country.
about this on other programs, but working for Coke, one of the first things we did is pay the NAACP and other civil rights groups, and I think that's part of the
Holy
playbook. Is to
shit! I know y'all heard that. Okay, we're gonna go back. You got to hear that. Coca-Cola paid off the NAACP. You ever see you've seen the Coca-Cola commercials? They look all freaking super cool and urban. It's got all the multiverse, all the diverse hip kids and all that. Maybe one white guy. I don't give a crap how many white folks are in the commercial. However, they are distinctively, clearly pandering to every denominator. Right? He just outright said, "This is the guy that worked for Coke, became an activist." Whistleblower. Listen to what he said. Speak it up for people in the back.
And I think it's incumbent, and I am optimistic because we're calling this out. I do think people are
I hope so too.
waking up. I want to put one point though on this class issue, because I think that debate's really weaponized. I talked about this on other programs, but working for Coke, one of the first things we did is pay the NAACP and other civil rights groups, and I think that's part of the playbook. It's to racialize and make the debate a class issue. Of course, it was total gaslighting, because what was at stake here is that Coke wanted more funding to keep lower income children on Coke, which is giving them diabetes. But I really want to make this point. If you came down, as an alien to Earth, to the United States and saw what was going on, 80% of adults obese or overweight, metabolic dysfunction, 8 of the 10 top killers tied to food, just getting
Jesus.
away from our evolution, right? You'd have a clear policy recommendation. Let's really focus on food. Let's focus on teaching kids how to exercise, how to meditate, to get control of their mind.
Meditation is underrated.
That would obviously, anyone 100% of the time would say that's the policy recommendation. That's not what we do. We wait for everyone to get sick and then drug them, and it's much more expensive. In the United States, and this is an important point going back to Ozempic, the obesity drug, because the system's so rigged, because pharma spends 3 times more than any other industry on lobbying, the United States is not even able to negotiate the drug price.
That's right.
Payer. So Ozempic, prices don't go down when volume goes up.
The drug companies get to dictate to us, the strongest, best country in the world, what they want to charge. And we say, okay, sure, we got no wiggle room. We're not going to haggle. I hate to do this. The only person I recall literally fighting for cheaper pharmaceuticals and more generic access was Donald Trump. Remember, used to be full-on progressive. I had to continually look up the things that I was demonizing him for when I was on Stuck in the Middle with Josh. And that's the stuff I found.
Prices are going up.
I'm still curious, though, why did he wish Ghislaine Maxwell well, given everything that we know. That one will stick with me, but that aside...
Healthcare inequality is getting worse. So Ozempic is $2,500 a year. It's not going down. There's a full court press for government subsidization, taxpayer funding. It literally, this sounds hyperbolic, but this is the case. If that is prescribed how it's projected, that will be trillions of dollars over the next 10 years. So again, when we talk about these classes, we talk about poor folks not being able to afford the food. Again, you take 1/5 of the amount we're planning to spend on Ozempic, you could buy organic, pure, whole food for every obese child in this country. So I think that economic debate we really need to understand. We have a public policy that waits for people to get sick, which I think is evil.
Spoken just truth, man, or truthers, whatever the term is. Now I have a special treat for you guys, okay? A little something. Just give me a moment, okay? I need to, hold on. There's a blast from the past. Bear with me. Okay, I have it in my hand. Y'all check this out. Y'all know how, everybody, we know how, they're going through a great cancelization of books because they're known to be too offensive with their words and whatever, and it's wokeism that's destroying our culture as we know it. For one, the fact that they're even attacking books are being underutilized more than ever. But check this out. There's a house in my neighborhood that's just clearing house. Everything's on the frickin' street. And a little ways down, there was a little treat on the ground. This is a nursery book of rhymes from the 50s. And it's written inside of here, dated at 1958. Merry Christmas to our Florine. I gotta be very gentle with this. This is a collector's item. I read some of the little rhymes. Definitely things that kids don't say anymore. But we love you very much, Mommy and Daddy. We hope these stories will bring you a smile to your face and a chuckle from your heart. December 25th, 1958. Oh, and shout out to Independent Minnie and her community. Please feel free to hit that link and get to know a real family. Okay, so yeah, I could the pages are ready to fall out of its binding. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his, look at this. This is so, just the nostalgia, and this is the kind of thing I really I'm fascinated by. As I was, and there's a picture of a small child smoking a cigarette. There it is. Look at this. All right. Jay Stort and Jay Green. Check out homeboy with the stogie. I don't know who put the red X there. A disgruntled parent. Look, that's as far as censorship would go. Way back when is a parent would get upset and just maybe red X something. Now we get entire groups to go on Twitter and make petitions and say, just cancel that immediately. Make sure the author is dirt poor or canceled or something. This is what I'm talking about. So, ding dong bell, pussy in the well. Who put her in? Little Johnny Green. Who pulled her out? Little Johnny Stout. What a naughty boy was that. To try to drown poor Pussy Cat, which never did him any harm, but killed the mice in his father's barn. And there's Jay Green. You know he's a bad kid because he's just dragging on that stogie. That was still normal in the 50s, right? Kids smoking cigarettes. It was primarily advertised to adults, but I think I'm really holding on to a piece of frickin' history here. That's my... Oh, okay. Word. I'll just... What is this? Oh, hickety pickety, my black hen. She lays eggs for gentlemen. Gentlemen come every day to see what my black hen doth lay. What would be the woke version? Let's see. Okay. Hickety pickety, my African diverse hen. She lays... No. She lays eggs for gentle people. Gentle people come every day to see why my possibly African aforementioned hen doth lay. Let's try the Jimmy and Jay Green one, homeboy with the stogie and the pussy. Ding dong bell. That thing with the clitoris. Nope, that's not right. The gender neutral hole is in the well. Who put her, she, him, he in? Little Johnny or Jasmine Green. Who pulled her, she, him, he out? Little Johnny for today, maybe Janet tomorrow, Stout. That's the woke version. What a naughty... no, we can't have boy there. What a naughty, non-gender specific little child to try to drown poor furry creature. I'm not good at the woke thing here. Cat, if it identifies as a cat, that is, of course. That would be in parentheses this day and age. Which never did any harm, but unalived the mice in his father/mother's barn. Okay, yeah. Anyway, totally. It was trippy to find this. I know it's not worth much. It's got electric tape holding the binding together, but just I love looking at history and seeing how things are different and how they're changing. Always look to the past to get a full bearing of how much the future seems to be shaping to something unfamiliar. They say history repeats itself, and while it does, there's so many just new conniving ways and tactics where things are just not being generated to benefit John Q. Citizen, we the people, the taxpayers, the workers. So anyway, I hope this has been somewhat informative and enjoyable. I truly wish all of you the greatest, today's a Sunday, the greatest day that you can possibly have. And please, more than anything else, celebrate your ability to think for yourself. Don't let anybody else control your narrative. Don't let anybody else think for you. Put your minds together. Think independently together. That's what I have to say these days. Y'all take care. Have a great day. Look at the ingredients of what you're putting in your bodies. Now more than ever. I'm out.